Hello everyone, back again with movie and tune recap. Today, I'm going to explain a British supernatural horror film from 2020, titled Host. Spoilers ahead, so watch out and take care. The movie begins with Hayley setting a timer on her laptop for a weekly Zoom call with her friends, something she has done before. While getting dressed, she hears a thud coming from the living room, and before she can check it out, her closet door mysteriously opens on its own. The thudding continues, but she soon realizes it's just one of her neighbors trying to open their apartment door, as they are all under quarantine due to COVID-19. Hayley then joins the Zoom call with her 5 friends, Gemma, Radina, who lives with her boyfriend, Alan, Emma, Caroline, who lives with her father, and Teddy. To make the call more interesting, Hayley has arranged for them to participate in a virtual séance led by a medium she invited. Except for Hayley, this is the first time any of them have taken part in a séance. Meanwhile, Caroline shows her friends a Zoom background she created during quarantine, which plays a looping video of her doing chores. Emma joins in on the fun by using a creepy filter, making everyone laugh. Hayley tells her friends about Salen, the medium she has invited to lead the séance, explaining that Salen has guided her through the process several times before. She urges everyone to follow Salen's instructions and to be respectful, which they all agree to, and Hayley then invites Salen into the Zoom call. Salen asks if everyone has their trigger objects, and they all confirm they do. She also emphasizes the importance of respecting the spirits, though Hayley seems to be the only one taking it seriously. Salen instructs everyone to light their candles, explaining that the flames will serve as a guide and help encourage the spirits to communicate. She also tells the group to pay attention to any responses they might receive. These could come in different forms, such as seeing a face, hearing a name, or experiencing physical signs like knocks at the door or flickering candles. Since they are conducting the séance over a Zoom call, Salen advises them to visualize a rope tied around their waists. To safely sever their connection with the spirit realm at the end of the session, they must imagine cutting the rope with something sharp. As the séance begins, Teddy is forced to leave the call when his girlfriend, Ginny, keeps interrupting and eventually disconnects him. Salen reassures the remaining group that his departure shouldn't affect the séance. She also explains that during the session, they might experience possession, not in a harmful way, but as a means for spirits to communicate through them. As the séance continues, the group suddenly hears a thud, and Salen asks the spirit to give them a sign if it is trying to communicate. Moments later, a loud knock echoes from Salen's door which startle the group. However, she realizes it's just a delivery man bringing her order. As they continue, Gemma suddenly screams, saying she feels intense pressure around her neck. She begins to cry, claiming to sense the presence of a school friend who took his own life by hanging. Before Salen can respond, her internet connection suddenly disconnects her from the call. As soon as she is gone, Gemma bursts into laughter and admits she made up the story because she was getting bored. This upsets Hayley, who scolds her for not taking the séance seriously, and this leads to an argument among the group. Suddenly, an invisible force violently pulls Hayley's chair backward, and soon after, the group begins experiencing terrifying events. Caroline hears a strange noise coming from her attic and goes to investigate. As she looks around, the legs of a hanging corpse briefly appear in the attic. Meanwhile, Hayley notices something in her living room that the others can't see. She grabs her instant camera and takes a photo, which reveals a ghostly figure hanging from the ceiling. Suddenly, Emma's wine glass shatters on its own, even though no one is holding it. As the group panics, Hayley manages to reconnect with Salen and explains what happened. Salen then asks the spirit a series of yes or no questions, quickly confirming that it is not a friendly presence. Salen explains that Gemma's prank, making up a story about a deceased person, may have created a tulpa, a thought form that allowed a demon to take on the identity of the fake spirit like a mask, giving it access to the living world. She instructs them on how to properly close the séance, but before they can finish, the demon interrupts, and Salen is suddenly disconnected. Following her advice, the group quickly works to sever their connection with the spirit realm. Relieved that the ordeal seems to be over, they begin leaving the call one by one. Radina leaves the room, completely unaware that her boyfriend Alan's lifeless body is hanging behind her. Meanwhile, Caroline's artificial background glitches as her face is suddenly smashed into the camera, causing her laptop to fall. Emma's camera applies a filter to an invisible figure in the living room, and the figure slowly turns to look at her, which terrifies her. She then scatters flour on the floor, revealing the spirit's footprints approaching her. Suddenly, her kitchen cupboards burst open, and terrified, Emma manages to escape into her bedroom. As Alan's body suddenly drops behind her, Radina tries to flee, but the demon hurls her into the wall, killing her instantly. Meanwhile, Haley and Gemma notice that Caroline is typing gibberish in the chat, and her camera turns back on, revealing her pleading for help as the spirit repeatedly smashes her head against her desk, killing her. Haley and Gemma start arguing, blaming each other for everything that has happened. Suddenly, Haley is attacked and dragged out of the room by an unseen force. Realizing that Haley lives just around the corner, Gemma immediately rushes out of her home to help her friend. Teddy returns to the call to find that only Emma remains, and a warning pops up, reminding the group that the call will end in 10 minutes. Unaware of everything that has happened, Teddy assumes Emma is pranking him. However, he is suddenly attacked by the demon, which takes the form of a horrifying humanoid figure. He flees into his garden, where he witnesses Ginny being lifted into the air before her neck snaps, and her body falls into the swimming pool. Terrified, he runs and hides, using a lighter to navigate in the darkness. The demon distracts him by playing an eerie music box, the same one his brother used to prank him with as a child. Suddenly, the demon knocks him down, causing him to drop the lighter, which causes a fire that burns him to death. Emma, who is the only one left on the call, watches in terror as her bedroom door slowly creaks open. She turns her camera toward the doorway and throws a blanket, which drapes over an invisible human shape. Panicked, she rushes to open her window to escape. However, the demon shoves her, causing her to fall to her death. Despite seeing him at the beginning of the movie, Caroline's father's whereabouts remain unknown. Meanwhile, Gemma breaks into Haley's house and checks the Zoom call on Haley's laptop, horrified to see that both Emma and Teddy are dead. Suddenly, the demon violently smashes a wine bottle over her head and begins wrecking the kitchen. However, Gemma regains her footing and searches the house, eventually finding Haley hiding under her desk. With no other options, the two attempt to escape, using the flash of Haley's instant camera to light their way through the darkness. As they cautiously move forward, the camera flashes reveal brief glimpses of a demonic spirit, which attacks them just as the Zoom call timer expires. The film ends as the screen scrolls through Haley's list of Zoom participants, revealing the credits of everyone who worked on the movie. Okay guys, that's all the recap about Host from 2020. Thanks for watching, see you again in the next movie.